All right, what's going on, guys? So a lot of you have been struggling with Nakatra, so I figured I would make a quick tips and tricks video on how we can deal some of the more challenging mechanics. Notably, it is the cascade mechanic and the grid mechanic. Now, there are easy ways to help dealing with grids. For instance, standing on the corner of these squares gives you the most mobility, meaning that if you need to dodge, you can just move one square if those squares are available, or if you need to dive away, you have a very short dive, so it's very easy to get into a good position. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that there are actually going to be glyphs that show up here, here, and then here in phase 3 that show you where everything is going to be. So it actually tells you where the safe spots are. So once I get to those things, I will show you exactly how you can use them to reference what's going on. But just be aware that the game actually tells you where the holes are going to be. Beyond that, the walk under for the cascade mechanic is actually going to get patched, so that is no longer viable. If the stepping forward and backward on these two squares is too complex or too mechanically demanding, I'm actually going to show you a safer way of doing it. So yeah, that's what you'll see. Whenever I get to those, I will show you exactly how we can deal with them. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. All right, so the kill just started, but you can already see that the glyph spawns here. So these two glowing spots on the bottom of this glyph, imagine if that glyph fell down onto the platform. That's where those two open spots are. So that's going to be here and here. So a little bit later in the kill, you're going to see I'm going to move over to those slots, but this is the way the glyph works. So now I'll show you where the second glyph is. Okay, so at this point, I already moved over to where I know one of the first holes are going to be. Now we can see that if this were to fall onto the platform, that this area here and this area here are both going to be open. So what does that mean? That means that we can stand on the corner of the square I'm in right now, and as soon as that explosion goes off, we move north one square, we dodge both of the explosions. So now we'll see what that actually looks like in real time. So obviously I stepped forward one, which I shouldn't have done, but you can see that we knew where the holes are going to be, and we ended up being able to position properly to deal with them. Okay, so at this point, we are about to deal with the cascade mechanic. I already know which glyph I'm supposed to be standing on, so I'm standing on that glyph. We're going to hit Nakatra for a little bit, and then once she starts talking, we are going to reposition so that we can dodge all of her attacks. So we're just going to do a little bit of burst damage here. Okay, now that she stopped talking, we're going to walk all the way back to the edge where I'm clicking right now. Then we're going to take a one step in so we're facing towards Nakatra. As soon as this first box explodes, we're going to surge and then immediately start running back out. And then once the first box explodes again, we're just going to dive back, and it's way, way easier, and we get to completely avoid all damage. There's no risk of us dying at all. Now here, I'm just dealing with the grid mechanic, nothing special. And I'll just fast forward through this so that we get to the second cascade mechanic and we'll just see it again. Okay, we're back at the cascade. So again, she started talking, so I'm immediately going to start pathing away from her. I'm going to take a one step in so that I'm facing towards her. First box explodes, we surge, we run back out. First box explodes, we dive back in. And that is another way for you to deal with this. I think this way is going to be a lot easier for the majority of people, so I would practice this if you're not used to it. Okay, so hopefully these tips and tricks help you guys out with your kills. And yeah, let's see if we get any money. No money, that's good.